Well, the US President Donald Trump taking credit for India-Pakistan ceasefire understanding, and a former Pentagon official has slammed this claim, saying that the official has rebuked Donald Trump's assertion that Pakistan was scared and rushed into ceasefire, calling it misleading. They have also dismissed Donald Trump's trade and talk approach as inaccurate. Critics say that Donald Trump has had a habit of taking credit for everything and has cautioned Indians to not to take his statements literally. Well, this has happened on at least two occasions as far as Donald Trump making those statements and announcement even before India could make it official. But here is a former official of the Pentagon saying that do not take the words of the President Trump literally.
Whenever Pakistan and India come into conflict, the United States tries to mediate behind the scenes. And this is reasonable because the United States is trying diplomatically to provide an off-ramp to prevent unrestricted warfare and also, in a worst-case scenario, prevent an escalation to any sort of nuclear exchange. So the fact that the United States would be in touch with both New Delhi and Islamabad is obvious. And the fact that both New Delhi and Islamabad would use Washington to pass messages is also obvious. Now, theoretically, both countries could also work through Moscow. But Moscow right now is busy with Ukraine. They don't have the focus. And there's also Beijing. But while Pakistan has good relations with Beijing, I mean, Pakistan is basically a colony of Beijing right now. Neither.
Well, Srinjoy, it is obvious that India had a clear-cut edge over Pakistan when it comes to Operation Sindoor. But according to this former Pentagon official, Donald Trump loves to play the role of a peacemaker.
Yes. See, America is currently divided right down the middle, 50 on one side, 50 on the other, about Donald Trump. Half of America loves him, the other half hates him. Now, this Pentagon official, former Pentagon official, is clearly one of the is part of the hate brigade. Now, he's also a very sensible man. He knows that what has happened on the ground, all of it is something that Donald Trump has taken credit for. But about the fact that India had an edge, about the fact that the Pakistani DGMO called his counterpart, Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai, for a discussion and then a ceasefire, about that there is no doubt. So Donald Trump, President of the United States, President of the most powerful economy in the world, President of the most powerful military in the world, all of that is right. But the actual credit, he may have got his Vice President and Secretary of State to make telephone calls, but the bottom line is the fact that after the attack on the airfields,
yes,
on the 11 airfields, the Pakistani side decided that enough was enough and there should be a telephone call to the Indian DGMO about a ceasefire. That is actually the bottom line.
Yes. But should be made out clear as far as on the issue of mediation possibly by America is something that India had outrightly made clear that this is an internal and a bilateral matter. And of course, no third party mediation or interference would be welcomed. For the moment, Srinjoy, thank you very much for joining in. Back after a short break.